talking with Mr. Andre Gruber.
Will you excuse me a second? I need to use the potty. Hold on. Sorry.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. The thing about rocks is that when you tell a rock your problems, he doesn't judge you or answer back. He just takes it. Takes it like a man. Yeah, that's it. He takes it like a man. And so, you grow to love these rocks. And it starts to grow a little in your heart, you know. Because, we're only human. And so, pretty soon, rocks are everywhere. They become a part of your life. You embrace the rocks embrace you. And the love starts to become mutual. And suddenly you just can't live without them. Just can't live without them.
Alright, thank you. How did you come to love rocks?
Well, it's quite funny, really. I was about 15. I was a sophomore in high school, I remember. And I was just walking along my house, making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I ate it, and then as I walked out, I was thinking this was a quite bad peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I remember it quite well. And I stumbled across a book. You might have heard of it. It's called the Bible. The Bible, is it called?
The Bible?
Yeah, that's it. The Bible.
The Bible?
And so, there's a lot of words in this book, and it has a lot of pages, and I was trying to consume all this. And there was a phrase about a man named Jesus talking to this man named Peter, and he said, "Upon this rock you build my church." And so I thought, what can I build this church? What does Peter got that I don't got? So then I decided to be like, I decided to take it upon myself to find out why Jesus chose Peter. So then I can become Peter, and I can bring out the Peter in all of us, because we all have a bit of Peter inside of us. If you know what I mean.
I've heard things about you, how you pick up the rocks and then you'll run back and forth with them. What's that about?
It's an experiment I'm developing about wind resistance. How far one can run with a rock to achieve the speed of light. It's a quite complicated procedure, considering I'm nowhere near achieving my goal. But we're getting there. We're running some tests. We're doing some things. I'm doing some phone calls. I'm trying to get the government up on this, so that one day we can come up with a flux capacitor and make like some kind of time traveling device, so we can discover the origin of rocks. What made them? Who made them? There's a lot of debates about who made the rocks. Where do they come from? It's quite a tricky thing. It's quite funny. Rocks are everywhere, This is not my personal choice. I love going out to the park and finding rocks. For example, I got a very nice rock I found in the park. This one. I've never seen this kind of rocks before. Can we get a close-up of this? I found it near a schoolyard. And this is when I realized that there must be a mastermind creating these rocks, because there's this bluish, greenish pattern on it. It doesn't look very organic, but somehow I believe in my heart that it is. That nature is responsible for creating this rock. This is one of my favorite rocks. It's a quite beautiful rock. I don't know much about it. I don't know what it does. I don't know who made it. But all I know is that when I look at this rock, I say, I'm a rock lover. That's all I am. Let's all love rocks together.
How do you know the rock is a good rock or a bad one?
It's a very interesting question. You really don't know. You have to go from what you feel. When you grab a rock and you just you see it, and you feel it in your hand, and then you run the tests, and then it just feels right. When a rock feels wrong, you just know it. It's just a gut feeling that rock is not the rock you want. But there's several procedures. My favorite one is where you get a rock and you brutally beat it with a big log, and you know when that rock is right. Like as soon as you start beating it, you create a bond that you connect with that rock. You interact, kind of like when people bomb countries. Kind of you feel like a connection with that. Do you know what I'm getting here? But this is with the rock. You and the rock, you're telling him who's boss, basically. This other one, oh, I forgot about this rock. It's a doozy. See, the reason I love this rock is quite funny. I was in jail for quite some time, and the most popular meal, believe it or not, in jail is cornbread. And I developed a good relationship with cornbread. I loved cornbread. And so this rock reminds me of my good times in the pen. Because it looks like cornbread, kind of, and it has a little, can we get a close-up of this, too? Close-up? Looks like somebody bit on it. It's very, very funny. So yeah, this one is very close to my heart. It reminds me of some good times. Good times. You don't even know. I can tell you some stories about that. But let's not get into that. Let's not get into that.
Alright. Are there any kind of other like minerals or anything that you like other than rocks?
Actually, there's a new passion of mine I started to develop. It's called shells. Like this one right here. I stumbled across this shell looking for rocks, and I thought it was a very peculiar rock, but until a good friend of mine told me it's not a rock, it's actually a shell. And it's very interesting because when you put it in your ear, you can hear the ocean.
Really?
Would you like to try it? Here, try it, sir. It's very good. Isn't that quite something?
It is.
It's the ocean.
That is quite.
I wish you people in TV land could hear this. It's quite wonderful. You should all find yourself a shell and get into these, because these are fascinating creatures. They speak back to you.
Do they?
You hear your conscience when you listen to these rocks. They're very beautiful things. Actually, back in the day, I used to be in a Jewish folk group, and we used to.
Are you Jewish?
Well, I used to be. I converted.
Really?
And we used to write songs, right? And I adapted our old rockin' style to a new tune I wrote about rocks. And I would like to share it with you guys. And it goes a little something like this. I love rocks. Rocks love me. Can't you see? I love rocks and they love me. They love me and I love them. Rocks, rocks, rocks. Rocks, rocks and